Good afternoon, I'm Malcolm Jordan and this is your midday news fix for Tuesday the 10th of December. State Highway 5 will be closed today between Rotorua and Waimangu for investigations after a horror crash last night. 4 people have died and 2 have been hospitalised after the crash just before 8 p.m. It follows a bad weekend on the roads, with 5 people killed in crashes in Taupo, Taihape and Canterbury. The Rotorua Daily Post's Ben Fraser says he saw some emotional responses at the crash cordon.
While I was there, a car of people visibly upset had parked at the cordon and began walking down the highway towards the crash scene.
Mixed messages surrounding Health New Zealand's nurse staffing system. Nurses are walking off the job in rolling strikes across the country. The nurses' organisation cites inadequate staffing and low pay and concern about staffing system changes. But Northern Deputy Chief Executive Mark Shepherd claims the union's spreading misinformation about HNZ's pause of the system. He says they're simply working to improve methodology for more consistency.
This is a short piece of work will be completed in the early new year and will resume planning for FTE requirements for the new financial year.
A Gloria Vale leaver hopes letting BNZ close its accounts with the Christian community could bring its end. The Court of Appeals rejected an injunction that had obliged BNZ to do business with the sect. Leaver Pearl Valla told Newstalk ZB's Canterbury Mornings the government should finally step in. But she's speculating Gloria Vale could be donating to parties.
I'm wondering how they've been so protected for the last 50 years.
Meanwhile, Leaver's representative lawyer Brian Henry says Gloria Vale's assets are likely worth $65 million, not the $45 million it claims.
This is a very wealthy community and the money's there to look after these families properly if you put in a manager who then does the right thing.
Air New Zealand's boss says too many of their flights are being cancelled. The airline's facing another 2 to 3 years of disruption, waiting for new aircraft and the completion of maintenance on existing ones. It's also making small cuts to its domestic and regional schedule next year. Chief Executive Greg Foran told Heather Duplessis-Allen flight cancellations are his biggest concern.
We've got to get on top of that. I can tell you we're working really, really hard to do it, to get everything that we can so we get this thing operating well. Most times we do, but when we don't, I apologise for that.
A Rainbow charity says it's up to parents if they want to pull children out of sex education classes, but they shouldn't be able to dictate what's taught. An Education Review Office reports found inconsistent teaching of the subject across schools. It recommends a national standardised curriculum and an end to consultation with parents. Inside Out Managing Director Tabby Besley says parents should instead just be informed on what's being taught.
That will help reduce the worries, the misinformation, disinformation and the fears that parents don't know what's being taught, but not give parents that say or control over what the school does end up teaching.
To sport, the All Blacks will put their 50-match unbeaten record at Eden Park to the ultimate test next year. That match is the highlight of the home calendar, with the All Blacks to meet world champions South Africa in Auckland on September 6. Supercars champion Will Brown will join the Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Oceania Championship grid for 3 events in Taupo, Hampton Downs and Highlands. And West Ham have won the Dance of the Desperate against Wolves 2-1 in football's English Premier League. I'm Malcolm Jordan. That's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at 5 p.m. from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.